Hello everyone, welcome back. I think we're on part 7, are we? Ooh, excuse me, something like that. Still got this going on, so that's a shame, but good lord. That's horrible. Right, anyway, so we've done this text box. Oh look, she looks a bit normal for a change. Ja omae. Oh, okay, it's because she's just found out our name, isn't it? So it's like, well then, omae. I don't know, like, well, not in that case, but just, I suppose, like, with that cleared up, omae. Well then, omae. Ima kara kono hairaru oke dake ni tsudawaru seichi no himitsu o anata ni ohanashi shimasu. Oh, good lord. Right. So now from, or from now, this Hyrule royal family, I think this is Oke. So this is like the royal family. Or perhaps the king's like household sort of thing. Literally. But yeah. The royal family dake, meaning only. So only to the royal family. Ni tsudawaru. So I suppose maybe like to or among the royal family. Or in. Yeah, in the royal family maybe. Tsudawaru means to pass, I suppose. To pass or to be passed on. To be handed down, perhaps. Seichi no himitsu. So sacred land, secret. Or secrets. It's not clear which. Anata ni, like to you. Ohanashi shimasu. I will tell, basically. I will talk about. This is Keigo. Ohanashi shimasu. Excuse me. She could have just said hanashimasu. Or hanasu. But she wants to be all fancy with her language and say ohanashi shimasu. Dare ni mo itte wa ikemasen yo. So to who inclusive. So in that sense it's like to anyone. I suppose it's kind of similar actually, isn't it? Dare ni mo, we say like anyone, and any kind of is a question in its own way, isn't it? Any. So to anyone. To anyone. Say is unacceptable. So you must not say this to anyone. This is a bit like what would this be? Iwaba? Ieba? Ieba naranai? I don't actually know. But yeah, it's just a different form. This is like itte wa ikenai, which is the same thing, but for some reason there are a couple of ways of saying it. Itte wa ikemasen. Yo. So yeah, saying this to anyone is unacceptable, or you must not tell anyone else. Hai. Sore wa ko tsutayararete. I didn't realise she was gonna auto skip because there was an A button thing going on there. In fact, let me just. I save stated it, so I can just go back. Let me just get to that point again. Yep. So, sore wa, or sore referring to what she mentioned before, which is the secret story about the sacred realm. So she's saying sore wa, that. Oh no, yeah, the story, yeah, of course, yeah. Ko. Like this, essentially, is what ko means. Ko is like this. So is like that. Do is like what or how. Yeah, so ko, like this. Tsutayararete. Being passed around, being conveyed, being told. That is like this, being told. Or it goes like this, is essentially what she's saying, yeah. Oh, got one pause. And I think we've got a lot of old Japanese again, probably, so I'm going to have a horrific time with this. Oh, actually, no, it looks a bit more normal. Sannin no megami-sama wa hairaru no doko ka ni 神の力を持つトライフォースを隠されました。So the three people, or the three, this is just a counter for when you're talking about people, isn't it? So sannin, the three goddess, holy goddesses, great goddesses perhaps. Hyrule, somewhere in Hyrule. In or at somewhere in Hyrule. The god's power to possess. So I think this is all modifying Triforce. So the Triforce that possesses the power of the gods. Kakusaremashita. Kakusaremashita. That's kind of weird because kakusu is to hide something. So you'd think it would be kakushimashita. Kakusaremashita. All the particles are kind of wrong in this, for my understanding. It sounds like, though this is kind of passive, isn't it? It was hidden. But it isn't Megami-sama ni kakusaremashita, that she's saying Megami-sama wa kakusaremashita, which is really weird. I think you can just go with passive when you want to be really polite. So that's probably what's going on here. But yeah, basically, yeah, the gods did the hiding, so this kind of shouldn't be passive, like in my opinion. Sannin no Megami-sama wa Hailaru no dokoka ni kami no chikara wo motsu Triforce wo kakusaremashita. Yeah, I guess this is just passive to be polite, but it should just be they hid the Triforce that has the power of the gods somewhere somewhere in Hyrule. Yeah, it's weird. Weird form. その力とはトライフォースを手にした者の願いを叶えるものでした。So that power, and then Towa. I suppose this kind of just indicates that a definition is about to follow. So that power, and then like this defines what the power is, I suppose. Sono chikara to wa. Possibly. Triforce wo te ni shita mono no. So the person who sort of puts it to their hand. This doesn't mean put, but I think te ni suru means simply to get it into your hand, doesn't it? It's to do it into your hand, which less literally would mean to get. So I think that's what's going on. Sono chikara to wa. The person who gets the Triforce's wish, yeah, that person's wish, kanaeru. Kanaeru. Is that potential of kanal? I don't think so. Let me just look this up. Kanaeru. Okay, yeah, it's not a conjugation. It's just to grant a request or a wish. Kanaeru. Mono has so many meanings. I don't really know what it's doing here. その力とはトライフォースを手にした者の願いを叶えるものでした。I don't know what Mono's doing. It could mean thing, but I don't think it does. You could probably just essentially consider this not to be here, I suppose. That power is granting, I suppose, the wish of the person who gets the Triforce. Something like that. That is weird, Mono. 心正しきものが願えば Hailaru wa yoki sekai ni kawari. So heart, righteous person, a person with a righteous heart. This is negao, which means to wish, but it's the kind of conditional form, I suppose, like if they wish. Hyrule, virtuous world, to change. It will change to a virtuous world. Kokoro ashiki mono ga negaeba, sekai wa aku ni shihai sareru. Shihai sareru. I don't know how to pronounce that really. So heart, evil person, if wishes. The world, evil to. Oh no, evil by, I think, because this is passive, isn't it? By evil. Will be ruled, I suppose, will be ruled by evil. Sword stayararete mashita. Like that has been sort of told, has been passed down. Yeah, like that has been passed down. So all that information has been passed down in the royal family. そこで古の賢者たちは心悪しき者からトライフォースを守るため時の神殿を作られました。作るね。作られました。Yeah. そこで I think like Soko de is like at that point or at that place. So I assume this means like kind of, maybe it probably means because of that, or as a result of that. As a result of that, maybe, yeah. At that point, initiate just means like ancient, old times. Initiate, not kenja tachi. Kenja is like sage. That's that word for sage, basically. So I suppose like wise people. In fact, that's what it is, isn't it? This first one here is read as kashkoi, which means wise. But in this case, ken, because it's, yeah, it just is, all right? It just is. And then this is person. So it's kenja, meaning wise person or sage. And then tachi, this is that pluralizer. So the sages, the wise people. Wa kokoro ashiki mono kara, from a person with an evil heart. Triforce wo mamoru tame, for the sake of protecting the Triforce from the person with an evil heart. Toki no Shinden, time temple, or the temple of time. Wo tsukuraremashita. And again, this is annoying me, because they're using a direct object particle here, wo, and then the passive like form of the verb. So I guess it's just to sound really polite. Otherwise you'd have Toki no Shinden ga tsukuraremashita, meaning the Temple of Time was built. You can't normally put a direct object with a like passive verb. So I guess this isn't passive and it's just a polite form. And yeah, of course, tsukuru means to make or to construct or whatever, yeah. So they made the Temple of Time for the sake of protecting the Triforce against someone with an evil heart. Yeah. Oh, that's the end. Good. I'm really glad. So, Toki no Shinden to wa, kono chijou kara seichi e hairu tame no iriguchi nano desu. So she's saying so, as in like, that's right. Time, temple, and then again, as I said, I suppose this defines what it is, the Temple of Time. This, like, land from, so from this land, sacred realm, to enter, purpose, entrance. And then nano des just being kind of, really explanatory, insisting upon that point, I suppose. So yeah, the Temple of Time is the entrance to the Sacred Realm, basically, isn't it? Yeah, the entrance for the sake of entering to the Sacred Realm from this earth, from this land. Demo, sono iriguchi wa toki no tobira to yobareru ishi no kabe de tozasarete imasu, maybe? I've got to look this up. Tozasu. Yeah, that's a weird word. You don't often see that, tozasu. Yeah, so, but that entrance, time door, or door of time, and this is just the reading, obviously, tobira, this is the kanji tobira, toki no shinden, toki no shinden, toki no tobira, to yobareru. So this quotes this part of the text. This quotes and says, says what it is called. To be called the Toki no Tobira. And yet the sentence isn't even finished. Ishi no kabe, stone wall. De. So I suppose by means of a stone wall called the time door, or the door of time, it is closed, or it is being closed, sort of thing. Tozasarete imasu. Again, she might just be being fancy with her polite language, or it might be passive. They're the same form, basically, so it's hard to tell. Tozasarete imasu. Yeah, I don't know. そしてその扉を開くためには then, I suppose, or yeah, finally, or after all of that, maybe? After all of that, that door open sake niwa, it's kind of like for the sake of opening that door, or in order to open that door, mitsu no seirei seki wo atsume shinden ni osameyou to tsutararete no desu. So the three spiritual stones collect. Atsumeru is to to collect. Shinden ni osameyou, at the temple. Osameru, I think, is to offer something, in kind of a holy way, perhaps. Let me just look that up. Or not necessarily holy, but in a kind of a, perhaps kind of a ceremonial kind of way, maybe. Osameru, to dedicate, to make an offering. Yeah, something along those lines. And then osameyou, I believe, is just, volitional, maybe. Meaning just, giving real sort of intent to the verb, maybe. Osameyou to. This is potentially quoting it. So this is saying something that has, been said verbatim. So it's maybe not verbatim, actually, but yeah, all of this is quoted and said and passed down as part of the legend. Tsutararete no desu. Sara ni mou hitotsu hitsuyou na mono. Ii tsudaye to tomo ni oke ga mamotteiru takaramono. This is sarani is in addition or furthermore. So sarani, furthermore. Mo hitotsu, one more. Hitsuyou na mono, required item. One more required item. Ii tsudaye to tomo ni. Ii tsudaye, I guess that's a kind of words that are passed down. Tradition, legend. Ii tsudaye, tradition or legend. And tomo ni, so togetherly with the legend, the royal family protects treasure. So the treasure that the royal family protects, along with the legend, The Toki no Ocarina, or the Ocarina of Time, baby. So yeah, Toki no Ocarina desu. So they protect that along with the legend that she's now told us. Watashi no ohanashi wakarimashita. So my sort of words, my story, everything I've said, has it become clear, or do you understand, less literally? Hai. Yokatta. So that's just like good. Again, it's the past tense of the word good, but it doesn't mean the past tense of the word good. It just means that's good, or that's great, or, you know, I'm glad, I suppose. Ah, so, wasurete imashita. She's like, oh, that's right. I was forgetting, or I didn't remember, or I forgot, less literally. Watashi wa ima kono mado kara mihatte ita no desu. So I now, this window from, was like keeping watch, I suppose. Mihatte ita. As we saw earlier, like mihari no hei was the guards that like keep watch, wasn't it? And miharu was to, yeah, to keep guard, as a verb. And this is just like the past continuous, I suppose. Mihatte ita. She was keeping watch from this window, just now. Yume no otsuge no mou hitotsu no anji? Kuroi kumo, sore ga ano otoko. I've got to look up this anji. I guess it just means like an omen or something. Oh, apparently, well, that's not one of the words used. So we've got dream, like message, the dream's message. One more like hint or clue or suggestion, apparently. So the dream's like other suggestion, I suppose, the dream's other hint, the black clouds, they are that man, she believes. They are that man in there. Anata mo nozoite mite kudasaru. So she's going all nice and polite still with her language, and it's like, you too. Nozoku means to like peek through or to peer in. So nozoite, just making it into te form so you can add miru onto the end. And obviously this will sound quite strange in English, but it's like, will you try looking in? Excuse me, but obviously that's fine in Japanese, but sounds kind of weird in English. But yeah, nozoite mite, and then kudasaru. It's a bit like kudasai, but kudasai is a request, isn't it? And kudasaru, I suppose this is just asking, are you going to do that sort of thing? Are you going to also try taking a look at that person? And then we say hai. And then we come up. Surudoi me tsuki no otoko ga mieru desho. Surudoi means sharp. Me is eyes. So surudoi, is metsuki a word? Yeah, okay, metsuki is. So metsuki is a look or an expression of the eyes or the eyes. And I suppose surudoi must mean like, you know, rather than literally meaning sharp eyes, I suppose it means like, you know, kind of piercing eyes perhaps. So he has kind of like evil eyes, if you like. Yeah, surudoi metsuki no otoko. So the man with the sort of the piercing eyes or the piercing look, the piercing expression. Mieru desho, like is visible, or less literally, you can see, right? Are ga nishi no hate no sabaku kara kita Gerudo zoku no shuryou Ganondorf. So that is, obviously this is different to kore ga and sore ga, because Ganondorf is far away from both of us, and so you say are in that case. Are ga nishi meaning west, no Hate meaning end, so like the west end of the earth, I suppose, the west end of the land. Nishi no hate no sabaku meaning desert. Kara, from the desert at the end of the west or whatever. Kita, past tense of kuru meaning to come, so came. Gerudo Zoku, so this is just the Gerudo tribe, or the Gerudo people. No Shulyo, and I guess that just means boss. Shulyo. Oh, hold on. Yeah, what's going on here? Yeah, head, chief, boss, leader. Yeah, okay. Shulyo and then Ganondorf. So I suppose we have to go through kind of backwards again, don't we? Like, that is Ganondorf, the boss of the Gerudo people who come or came from the desert at the end of the west side of the world or something. Something along those lines. Ima wa otosama ni chusei wo chikatte iru keredo, kitto uso ni kimatte imasu. So now, and this is why this kind of, in a way, this kind of differentiates it from other times in it, just other times. So it's like he swears loyalty now, but it means that it doesn't necessarily apply to future times and things. It's talking specifically about now. So now he swears loyalty to my father, but you know, perhaps not for much longer. Ima wa otou-sama ni, so my father. To chusei, meaning like loyalty or like obedience or whatever. Whoops, nearly dropped my phone there. Let me just look up chusei and see if there's any other words. No, loyalty, sincerity, basically. And then chikao means to like swear. Yeah, so he swears loyalty. Chikatteru. He is currently swearing loyalty to my father. Keredo. Keredo is like the same as kedo, but it's just probably a bit more polite, a bit more formal. Used in more like actual proper Japanese, I suppose. Kitto uso ni kimatte imasu. Undoubtedly or for sure. Uso means a lie, and then ni kimaru. I suppose these are kind of combined together. Ni kimaru, and kimaru means to be decided. Excuse me. It kind of means to be decided. So it's like for sure. How do you translate that actually? It's like it is for sure decided that it is a lie. I suppose maybe less than it being decided. It's just sort of means that it's definite, perhaps. Like it is definitely that it is a lie. Maybe. That might be how I'd translate it. Yume ni mita hairaru o o kuroi kumo. Ano otoko ni chigai arimasen. So, yeah, in dream saw Hyrule covering black clouds. That man, no mistake, I suppose is what this means. Chigai nai. Chigai arimasen. That's just kind of proper way of saying nai, isn't it? Arimasen. So yeah, there's no mistaking that man is the black clouds that cover Hyrule that I saw in my dream. Oh no, he saw us. Doushita no desu? Kizukareta no desu ka? So what happened, essentially? Yeah, what happened, basically. Kizukareta no desu ka? Kizuku means to notice. And again, this is like passive again. So kizukareta, like were you noticed? Did he notice you? Kizukareta no desu ka? Did he notice you? Kamau koto wa arimasen. kamal, I suppose, like to be fussed about something, isn't it? To mind, to care about, to be concerned about. Yeah. So kamal koto wa arimasen. So it is not. Well, I suppose literally it's like there is not a thing to be worried about, but less literally you want to think of it as like it's not something, you know, you should worry about. Like, don't concern yourself. Don't worry about him noticing you just now. Don't worry about being noticed. Ima wa watashi tachi ga nani wo kangaete iru ka wakari wa shinai no desu kara. Oh my god, Zelda. Can't you speak just a bit more casually, please? This is nuts. So now, we, as in us two, now we, what thinking, or planning, I suppose, what we are planning at the moment, to be clear, does not. So, like, he doesn't know. It is not clear to him what we are planning at the moment. So yeah, he doesn't know what we are thinking, what we are planning. Deskara just meaning like because, like, and this ties back to obviously the previous thing where it's like it's not something you should worry about because now he doesn't know what we're planning. Air. This just means yes. Yeah, it just means yes. You can just say air. I think men tend to go with ah to mean yes, ah. And I don't know if this is more womanly, actually. It probably is. Well, I shouldn't say probably is. It could be. I don't know if men can say this, but she's saying air. Otou-sama ni wa hanashi shimashita, or hanashimashita? This is a hard character, I don't know. Because it can be hanashi shimashita, or it can be hana shimashita. I don't know which one it is, but yeah. Otou-sama ni wa hanashimashita. I spoke to my father. Yes, I spoke to my father. Keredo, Otou-sama wa watashi no yume no otsuke wo shinjite kudasaimasen deshita. For goodness sake, Zelda, just speak casually, please. So this is like, but my father, my dream's message, I suppose, believe for me did not, I suppose, like did not believe downwardly for me, did not believe my dream is a premonition or whatever. Demo watashi ni wa wakaru no desu. However, well, I say however, but to me it will become clear, or it becomes clear, or it is clear, perhaps. Ano otoko no ashiki kokoro ga. That man's evil heart is what is clear to her. Yeah, end with ga. That happens a lot in Japanese, doesn't it? You sort of say something and then you say what you're talking about after in a separate sentence, which is kind of weird. Ganondorf no nerai wa osoraku seichi ni osamerareta Triforce desu. So Ganondorf's like target, I suppose. Nerau is to aim, and so nerai makes it into kind of a noun, I suppose. So his aim or his goal or his target. Osoraku means like I fear, I suppose. Let's just look that up for maybe some better definitions. I dare say. Yeah. I dare say. It's like negative, kind of. It's sort of quite negative, yeah. Like I fear, or I dare say, or... Yeah. That's probably best, actually, isn't it? I dare say. Osoraku seichi ni osamerareta Triforce desu. So his target is the Triforce that is closed, pinned, sort of thing, or offered. Osamerareta. Maybe stored. Yeah, maybe like stored in the sacred realm, or is offered in the sacred realm. Yeah, something like that. それを手に入れるためにハイラルにやってきたのでしょう。So that get sake of Hyrule came. So he came to Hyrule for the purpose or for the sake of entering that into his hand. Yeah, so he came to Hyrule to get the Triforce. そしてハイラルをいえこの世界そのものを我が物にしようと。Good Lord, what is she talking about? Then, I suppose, or after all of that, Hyrule? No, this world. Sonomono. Don't know what Sonomono is. What's Sonomono doing? この世界そのものを我が物にしようと。Sonomono. Let me look that up, because I think that has its own meaning that perhaps isn't. Sonomono says the very thing or itself. So maybe it's like, after all that, Hairaru or... No, the world itself. This whole world itself. Maybe awkwardly translated. Wagamono ni shioto. I think wagamono is like his own. This is saying his own thing. Yeah, one's own property or possessions. So his own thing. He's trying to like make it into his own thing. So he's trying to take over the world, isn't he? He wants to possess the world, is what he's trying to do. Omae, ima Hailalu o mamoreru no wa watashi tachi dake nano desu. So now can protect Hyrule, or that which can protect Hyrule, because of this no sort of nominalizer afterwards. Protecting Hyrule, that can... the thing that can protect Hyrule, or what can protect Hyrule, us only, is only us. We are the only ones who can protect Hyrule now. Shinjite kudasai. Onegai desu. So believe me, please. I'm begging you, I suppose, or again, just doubling up, like, please. Onegai desu. Hai. Arigata. What happened to her face? It went normal. I thought we had, like, horror show Zelda for a little bit. Watashi wa kowai no desu. Ano otoko ga Hailalu o horobosu. Sonna ki ga suru no desu. And kawaii means like both scary and scared. So it's quite awkward to, or it can be quite awkward to translate sometimes maybe. And it's especially hard to explain the difference to Japanese speakers who want to know how to use scary and scared, because yeah, they have trouble getting it, basically. You might get Japanese people saying like, I am scary, instead of I am scared, which is kind of funny. But yeah. So she's saying, I am afraid, or I am scared. Ano otoko ga, that man, Hailalu o horobosu, will like destroy or ruin, I suppose. Horobosu will, he will ruin Hyrule or destroy Hyrule. And then sonna ki ga suru no desu. And ki ga suru is, I suppose, like, I have a feeling that that will happen. I get the impression, or I feel that will happen. So that kind of feeling I get, I suppose. Yeah. それだけの恐ろしい力を持った男なのです。それだけの恐ろしい力を持った男なのです。What's going on there? それだけの恐ろしい力. I think in this case this doesn't mean only. それだけの恐ろしい力. Well, searching for それだけ, it means that much, as much, to that extent, only that, that alone, no more than that. Oh, okay, so perhaps this それだけ sort of expresses very specifically the extent to which maybe the rest of the thing is true. それだけの. So precisely that amount of scary power, maybe, is what she's saying. それだけ. It's like, it's not, it's, I don't know. I'm not sure actually, but maybe it's like, it's not less than that. It's precisely that amount of scary power. それだけの恐ろしい力を持った男なのです。持った、I suppose, although this is past tense, it probably means to have gotten that amount of power. Strangely enough, this past tense can also be used for future tenses, which is kind of weird. It's like, at the point in the future, he will have gotten this much power. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here, but yeah, something along those lines. それだけの恐ろしい力を持った男なのです。He is a man who has got precisely that amount of terrifying power, or will have gotten that amount of power or something. でもよかった。あなたが来てくれて。However, I'm glad, or it's good, or yeah, I'm pleased, or thank God, I suppose, in a way. You came, and then kurete, like, you know, you came like for me, like you came here, and she's grateful for that sort of thing. とにかくガノンドルフにトライフォースを渡してはなりません. Like, anyway, regardless of everything, とにかく to Ganondorf, no, not to Ganondorf. Yeah, to Ganondorf, the Triforce, like, giving him or passing the Triforce over to him is unacceptable, is not on, not gonna happen sort of thing. Like, basically saying we must not give him the Triforce, or rather, we must not let him get the Triforce. Toki no Ocarina wa nanto ka shite ano otoko no ten ni wataranu you ni mamorimasu. So the time Ocarina, somehow, or perhaps like by any means possible, that man's hand too, to kind of pass over into, or to fall into, to pass into his hands, so that, oh yeah, sorry, this is negative, isn't it? So it's like, so that it does not pass into his hands, I will protect. So I will protect the time Ocarina, so that it does not pass into that man's hands. Somehow. I will do something or everything in my power to prevent that. あなたは残る2つの精霊石を見つけてください. You remaining 2 spiritual stones, find, please. So please find the last 2 spiritual stones. ガノンドルフよりも先にトライフォースを手に入れてあの男を倒しましょう. Yori is like than. You don't have to give like an extent or anything beforehand. You just say than. So it can mean less than, or it can mean more than, or in this case, it's kind of like faster than or before Ganon. So Ganondorf yorimo, so even before Ganondorf, I suppose. Saki ni, meaning in front of or beyond. So beyond Ganondorf or before Ganondorf. Triforce wo te ni irete. Put into your hand the Triforce. That man, ano otoko, let's defeat, sort of thing. Taoshimashou, let's fell him. Let's defeat him. Sore kara kono tegami wo watashite okimasu. Kitto yaku ni tatsu hazu desu. And I suppose in addition to that, maybe sore kara, in addition to all of that, from all of that, in addition, this letter, kono tegami, this letter, I will give to you, and then oku is like in advance of something. She doesn't know what, but I suppose, you know, it's just like I will give you this, like in preparation, you know, in the case that you need it in future, I will give this to you in preparation of that time. Which, as I said, she doesn't know what that time will be, but it's watashite okimasu. She'll give it to you in preparation of a time that I might need it. And then kitto yaku ni tatsu hazu desu. For sure, roll to stand is kind of literally how I'd translate that, but it means it will be useful, it will be helpful. It will have a role. It will help you, basically. And then hazu expresses a expectation. So it should, for sure, be helpful at some point in the future. Zelda no tegami wo uketotta. Zelda's letter you received. Ukeru is to like receive something, and toru is to take something. And combined together, they just mean received. You received Zelda's letter. Excuse me. Zeruda hime. So yeah, Zelda princess. No. I always get this wrong. I think. Is this like Jiki Hude or something like that? I don't know what this is. Let me just look for this. Oh, it's Jiki Hitsu. I was pretty close. Yeah, Jiki Hitsu Sign Iri, I guess. So Zelda Princess's own handwriting. Her handwriting. Jiki Hitsu. Sign. This is weird. Like, they say sign to mean autograph. Like, as a noun. So, can I get your sign? Which is kind of strange, but yeah, you know, that's what they say. And then iri just means like, I suppose it's like included with, or it has it inside or something. So iri, yeah, I believe is just mean like her own writing is included with this letter, which I suppose, you know, kind of course it is, because it's a letter. Shi ni settoshi, shi de miseru. And miseru means to show. I suppose it's kind of like to cause to see. So that's why it means to show. And then shi itemu gamen de left, down, right ni setto shite setto shita botan de tsukao. We've seen loads of that. Loads of that. I don't want to go and talk to her because she's going to take ages. So I'll just talk to Zelda once more and then I'll end the video. Watashi no... What the flip's going on here? It's weird that. It's like Milk Mother, isn't it? The characters. Let me just look this up. Newbo. So yeah, newbo meaning wet nurse, nursing mother, or you know whatever it is, like my assistant or carer or whatever. So my carer, what's she called in English? Guardian? I don't know. Shiro no soto made annai shite kuremasu. What the flip is this? Kowagarazu. Oh, I see. Kowagarazu o hanashi shinasai. O hanashi shinasai, maybe? Or o hanashi nasai? No, I think it's o hanashi shinasai. Yeah, so the castle, like outside or outside of the castle until. Annai means to like guide or to lead. So she will lead or guide you out of the castle. It's funny that she's saying shite kuremasu. She obviously considers like me to be like the same as her, like I'm part of her party or something, I think. Because she's saying shite kuremasu. Unless she's saying that Sheik or whatever will lead us out of the castle for her. It could mean that. Or it could be that she considers us to be part of like her in-group and therefore Sheik is doing the leading of me, for me, downwardly to me. Because it's kuremas, isn't it? You'd expect her to say probably annai shite ageru for Link. But it seems that perhaps she thinks that we're kind of, you know, we're the same. We're sort of the same. We're in the same in-group together, maybe. Or, as I said before, it could just mean that, you know, she considers Sheik to be doing the favour for her. So she's saying shite kuremasu. And then kawaii, again, kawaii, as I said, means to be scary or to be scared. And that's an adjective. Kowagaru means to be afraid of something. It's like a verb kind of thing. And so kowagarazu is like it's a negative form of that verb. And so it's like sort of without being afraid. Like not be afraid. So don't be afraid. Kowagarazu o hanashi shinasai. Talk with her. Basically. O hanashi shinasai. And it's interesting that she's saying shinasai as well, because as I said about Navi in part 1, was it part 1? She's kind of like talking to us a bit like a mother there. It's like shinasai is a bit of a demand, I suppose. It's a bit harsher than some ways of saying. I don't know, interesting. Anyway, that'll have to do. Yeah, better end it there. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope it was worthwhile. And I'll see you next time.